Hey everyone, it's Kailey here. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making homemade chocolate cupcakes with a delicious vanilla buttercream icing. So stay tuned to see how they turn out. Before we start, let's preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So first off, we're going to use a large bowl to mix all of our dry ingredients together. So I'll go ahead and add 3/4 cups of flour in. Next, we're going to add half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Then add half a teaspoon of baking soda and 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder. And lastly, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to use a whisk to mix them all together. Okay, perfect. Now all our dry ingredients are combined. So our recipe also calls for buttermilk. So I'm going to show you how to make a do-it-yourself buttermilk at home. So what I have here, I've got some milk that I've allowed to come to room temperature, and I've also got 1 teaspoon of vinegar. And I'm going to put it in this measuring cup here, which is half a cup. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and stir this buttermilk together. Alright, and I'm going to let that sit for about 5 minutes, and then buttermilk should be ready. Okay, so now for our wet ingredients. First off, I've got 2 eggs, and I've also allowed the eggs to come to room temperature. I'm going to add those to our bowl, and then I'm going to add half a cup of white sugar and half a cup of packed brown sugar. I've also got 1/3 cups of vegetable oil. And lastly, my favorite, vanilla. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm going to go ahead and stir all of our wet ingredients together. Take some of your wet ingredients and pour about half of it into your dry ingredients. And then here we've got that buttermilk that I made earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and add about half of our buttermilk as well. And stir that together. Looks like a meatball. I'm going to go ahead now and add in the rest of our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that all together. Okay, so now I've got all our wet and dry ingredients fully combined. And I've also got our muffin tins here. I'm going to use this ladle to scoop our cupcake batter into our cupcake tins. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Now, according to the recipe, it's very important that you only fill them halfway, and that will give you the ultimate cupcake. Okay, awesome. I'm going to bake them for about 18 to 21 minutes. I'll keep an eye on them to make sure they don't burn. So let's go ahead and pop those in the oven. Oh, now I gotta pick them up with these mittens on. There we go. Okay guys, so our cupcakes are all done, and I'm just gonna let those cool while we get our buttercream ready. So here I've got a KitchenAid stand mixer, so I'm going to be using that today to make our buttercream. So I'm going to go ahead and add that 1 cup of butter in. Woo, and turn that on. Whoa. Okay, perfect. So that's been blending now for about 5 minutes, and it's time to add in our icing sugar. So earlier I measured out 4.5 cups, and I used this strainer here to kind of sift it to get out all the chunks. And now I'm going to add about half of my icing sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on low. Nice. Okay, perfect. So now our butter and our icing sugar is pretty well combined. So I'd say it's safe to turn our mixer here higher. is looking really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of our icing sugar. And let's again start slowly with our mixer here. Oh. I'm gonna turn that up to about medium-high speed, and I'm gonna let it mix for another 5 minutes or so. Alright guys, so our icing is looking amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in our 1/4 cup of half and half cream. I'm gonna add in 2 teaspoons of our pure vanilla extract. All right, now let's get that mixing. So I'm gonna bring that back up, start on slow, and I'll turn that up. So I've got here, I've sifted a bit more icing sugar. It's about a 1/4 cup of icing sugar. And I'm gonna add that in just to make our icing a bit thicker. Alright guys, so after adding about a 1/4 cup more of icing sugar, I'd say we've got the perfect consistency for our buttercream. And now it's time to add some food coloring. I've got different colors. I've got red, I've got orange, I've got this thing called Kelly green. I don't really know what colors I want to make. Not sure. I definitely want a pink, so I'm gonna start with that. So you take some of your icing, I don't know, like a dollop or so. So we're gonna add our paste into this dollop of our icing. I guess I'll start small because you can always add more, but it's gonna take anything away. Well, let's try that. I'm gonna mix this together and see what color we get. This is a gorgeous pink. So let's mix this together now. It's very, very pretty. Although, I must admit, I think I want it a bit more pink. Okay. I would say that's a gorgeous pink. I'm definitely gonna leave this just the way it is. Okay guys, I couldn't help myself. I started off with the pink icing, and then I wanted to make green. And then I was like, okay, I might as well make a 3rd color. So then I made peach. I'm going to try this method. It's kind of like a rainbow technique where I combine all 3 of these colors into one piping bag, and then you get a rainbow effect. So here's a nice tall vase. I've got this star-shaped tip, so it's a 5-point star. And I'm going to try to use this tip. I've never used this tip before, so I don't know what it's going to come out like. Hopefully it looks nice and pretty. So let's go ahead and put our piping bag into our tall vase here. And then you just want to fold it over the corners. And I'm going to go ahead and what you want to do is smear it along, oh boy, one side of the piping bag. And now I'm going to go ahead and put our green in there. So same technique, take a spoonful and then you're going to smear it along one edge of your piping bag. Okay, very good. And let's go ahead and do the same thing with our pink icing next. So I'm gonna go ahead and start piping my cupcakes now. And I'm gonna do the classic kind of twirly top cupcake. So I'm gonna fill the center first. Oh, look at those colors. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's fill it a bit more. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is work my way around the cupcake from the outside to make our ring. Look at those colors, that's gorgeous. Wow. All the way up and quickly pull off. Okay, not bad for my very first piping of a cupcake. It's pretty, I like it. So now for my next cupcake, I'm going to try the rosette shape. So what you do for that one is you want to go 90-degree angle, perpendicular to the cupcake. And you're going to start in the center and then apply pressure to the piping bag. Try to keep it constant. And you're going to go around like this. And around like that. Wow, that looks beautiful. Like, I'm so surprised how nice that looks. So that's a beautiful, very beautiful rosette shape that I created there. For my next cupcake, I will try the, it's called the hydrangea. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pipe a blob in the center. Oh boy. Oh, well, that's okay. And then what I'm gonna do is pipe kind of like blobs all the way around the outside. Okay, not horrible. So that's supposed to be the hydrangea. It's definitely not centered. I did not center that, but it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty. Yeah, I think I'll do another one of each of these styles. I also have some ziploc bags here. I made them into piping bags. So I've got some more of our green and some more of our pink. So first I'm gonna take my pink icing, and I've got this tip on there. It's kind of like narrow one side, a little bit wider on the other. So you want the wider side on the outside of your cupcake, and that's where you're gonna start, and you're gonna end off in the center. Push down and pull. Push down and pull. Push down and pull. Very pretty, isn't that gorgeous? Wow, I love that one actually. I really like that one. I think what I'm gonna do is add another layer of petals here on top. So pull, pull. Oh wow, that's gorgeous. I love that so much. I think that's so pretty. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use this green, and I'm gonna kind of do some polka dots in the center. Push, pull. That's just gorgeous. I love that one. Yes, that's my favorite one for sure. Okay, let's do some more of those beautiful sunflowers because I'm obsessed with them. Stop. Okay, that's a gorgeous looking dozen cupcakes, don't you think? Alright everyone, that's it for today. Thanks for watching Kailey's Kitchen, and I hope to see you again next time.